Hello, P6 students. This is Miss Claire, and welcome to this another video of our Math 6 class. We are now on chapter 11. It talks about ratio and proportion. In this video, you will learn two lessons. We have lesson 1, understanding equivalent ratio, and lesson 2, understanding direct proportions. I am sure that you are a bit familiar with this lesson because we have been discussing this, or we have discussed this during our Math 5 class. So P6, are you ready to learn this new lesson? Come on, let's get started. I have here a picture of two children. They have photos. The girl said that the length of her photo is 10 centimeters. The boy said that the ratio of the length to the width of his photo are the same. So he said that the length of his photo is 20 centimeters. Is he correct? Do you agree with him? So you can share, children, your answer during our class, whether you agree or disagree with him. Let's start with lesson A, understanding equivalent ratios. This girl has some yellow t-shirts and blue t-shirts. So what's the ratio of the number of yellow t-shirts to the number of blue t-shirts? Yes, the ratio is 4 to 6 because there are 4 yellow t-shirts and there are blue shirts. So therefore, the ratio is 4 to 6. It means that there are 4 yellow t-shirts in every 6 blue t-shirts. Another problem, let's group and to find the equivalent ratios. Ralph has 8 yellow pencils and 12 blue pencils. Take a look. So the ratio of this number of yellow pencils to the number of blue pencils is 8 to 12. Then he groups them in 2. So there are 4 groups of 2s for the yellow pencils. And there are 6 groups of 2s for the blue pencils. So the new ratio now is 4 to 6. Later on, he groups them in 4s. Take a look. So there will be how many groups of 4 for the yellow pencils? Yes, there are 2 groups, so 2. For the blue, there are 3 groups. So this is the new ratio now, which is 2 to 3. These ratios, children, are used to describe the same number of pencils. So 8 to 12, 4 to 6, and 2 to 3 are examples of equivalent ratios. They have the same value. Now, let's find the simplest form of a ratio. You can multiply or divide the terms of a ratio by the same number to find the equivalent ratio or the simplest form of a ratio. So let's have the example from the previous slide. We have 2 to 3. To find the equivalent ratio, we can multiply them, both terms by the same number. So we multiply it by 2, we get 4 and 6. Then if we multiply it by 4, we get, yes, 2 times 4 is 8. So therefore, 8 to 12. Now, to find the simplest form, we will divide by the same number. We divide 8 and 12 by the same number, which is 2. We get 4 and 6. If we divide both of them by 4, we get 2 and 3. Therefore, 2 to 3 is the simplest form of 8 to 12 and 4 to 6. We cannot reduce further 2 and 3. So, they are what we call the simplest form. So, it means that there are 2 yellow pencils in every 3 blue pencils. Okay, let's move on to lesson B, understanding direct proportions. Look at this picture, children. The girl has red and blue tiles. So what proportion of the tiles are red? Proportion, children, can be expressed as a fraction and a percentage. So if we will get the proportion of the red tiles, simply we get how many red tiles, then we will find the total number of tiles. So in this picture, we can say that there are 8 red tiles, and the total number of tiles is 20. So the proportion of the red tiles is 8 out of 20. Okay? We can also change this into a percentage. How about the proportion of the blue tiles? So children, if you know the answer, you can share that during our class. Let's move on to our another example. How about if the girl or pet uses 10 red tiles? How many blue tiles will she use? So, assuming that she uses the same proportion of tiles as above. So, what is the proportion there? In every 2 red tiles, there are 3 blue tiles. So, if she uses 10 red tiles, how many blue tiles will she use? So, if you know the answer, you can share that during our class. Another example here, making an apple drink. DV prepares an apple drink by mixing 1 liter of an apple syrup with 4 liters of water. How many liters of water did she use if she used 10 liters of apple syrup? Okay, take a look here. So the ratio of the apple syrup to the liters of water is 1 to 4. We can present this in a table like this or in a bar model. Take a look. The red bar or square represents the apple and the blue represents the water. So 1 part is apple, 4 parts is the water. So if we have 2 parts of the apple syrup, we get how many parts of the water or liters of water? 8. So we simply multiply it by 4, right? 1 times 4 is 4 for water. So if we multiply it by 2, we get 8. So how about if she uses 10 liters of apple syrup? We simply multiply it by 4. Therefore, 10 times 4, and that is 40. So, for every 10 liters of apple syrup, she uses 40 liters of water. So, 2 quantities are in direct proportion when they increase by the same ratio. How about children if she will use 15 liters of apple syrup? How many liters of water will she use? If you know the answer, you can share that during our class. Okay, next. Making pancakes. How much butter is needed to make pancakes for 3 people? Look at our recipe. Our recipe for making pancakes for 6 people, we need butter 80 grams and flour, which is 150 grams. Take note that this is for 6 people. So if we will make only for 3 people, simply we just find the half of these ingredients or this recipe. So the number of people is half. So the amount of each ingredient in the recipe is also cut into half. So, the amount of butter, therefore, decreases, right? As the amount of flour decreases. Therefore, from 80, so if we have 150, the half is 75. The half of 80 is 40 grams. Therefore, 40 grams of butter is needed to make pancakes for 3 people. Okay, P6, that's all about Chapter 11, Ratio and Proportion. I will discuss more about this lesson during our class. Thank you for watching, children, and I hope that you learned a lot in this video. Always remember to stay safe and healthy. God bless everyone, and enjoy the rest of the day.